I am too spoiled to settle for action thrillers that are phoning it in. Because between John Wick 4 and Mission Impossible 7 Dead Reckoning Part 1, these action these action movies have to level up or save it for streaming because this is an action movie. And I love how they had a featurette right before the film and it showed one of these major action sequences, how it was shot and how difficult that shot was to get it perfect. Listen, Tom Cruise is the biggest movie star in the world. That we know. There's no denying that. But the dedication he puts into making these films, he makes these movies so that we, the audience, we moviegoers, can experience a fantastic movie. You can tell he put so much heart and soul into making this film. You feel the energy that he put into this film. And the same with Christopher McQuarrie. Christopher, Christopher McQuarrie directed the heck out of this film. So much so that he needs to be recognized by the Academy for Best Director this year. This is one of the best directed movies so far. And I know that, the Christopher Nolans are coming and the Martin Scorsese's are coming and the Greta Gerwig's, the whole bit. He deserves a spot because when I tell you he directed this film, his imprint, his signature imprint with Tom Cruise, like he is the Tom Cruise whisperer. And Tom Cruise, even though this is a spy thriller, this is an actioner, Tom Cruise still shows us in this film that he is a formidable actor, like one of the best. Facial acting, you can see it and feel it. He dedicates his soul to this movie. Tom Cruise leveled up. You thought, if you thought that Top Gun Maverick was good, this is even better than Top Gun Maverick. Please see this film. I saw it in Dolby. I'm going to see it in IMAX to get, to compare the experiences. My favorite, though, is Dolby because there are some action sequences in this film that felt so immersive because of the sound design and how it just felt like, especially the very first scene. The very first scene, there is an underwater, like I don't want to spoil this film. I want you to have the best experience, but they're in the Bering Sea, beneath the Bering Sea. Let me tell you, it felt like it'll make you feel like you were in there. And there's like so many good sequences. But my favorite, where I'm telling you, it was an absolute nail biter, was the train. That train scene, that sequence, and it's continuous. How that was filmed it's unbelievable. There is this sandstorm shootout filmed. You're going to be shocked at how perfect this scene is. The sequence is unbelievable. You're going to feel so immersed watching so many scenes, especially this. This is one of the beginning scenes. I couldn't believe it. This is why I think that Christopher McQuarrie should be nominated for Best Director this year. And this Mission Impossible 7 should be nominated for Best Picture. This is a perfect, pretty much near perfect film. It's so good. You've got Carrie Elwes, Simon Pegg returns, Ving Rhames returns, Henri Czerny, and Dina Varma, who was in this fantastic show I loved. It was called Obsession. It's on Netflix. That show is so good. She has a brief stint. She has a brief arc, but she's in it. You have Rob Delaney, Charles Purnell. Like, it's stacked. It's stacked. Everybody brings it. And what I absolutely loved is that the women in this film are doing as much action as Tom Cruise. They're not set dressing. The women were phenomenal. They had substantive roles in this film, which I loved. You had Vanessa Kirby, Haley Atwell, and Rebecca Ferguson. All of them were fantastic in this film. So you're going to get great performances, great action sequences, a good sound design, good score. It's shot beautifully. It looks good. There are some really good picturesque shots. The women are not like set dressing. They really do bring it, and I love that about this film. There are a lot of munitions in this film. There are a lot of bullets flying everywhere, and everyone was safe. Shout out to security, munitions team, the safety crew. Shout out to Tom Cruise's safety guy specifically, because he had to be prayed up to keep Tom safe for the stunt work that he does. Now, I know we've all by now saw that sequence of him jumping off the cliff off that bike. That's not even the best action sequence in the film. Shout out to his safety. Shout out to everybody involved in this film. It just it it's so good. I could not believe it. It's such a good film. Like, John Wick 4 is one of my favorite films of the year. I'm spoiled now to have the action sequences in John Wick and to have the action sequences in this film in 2023. We can't settle anymore. We can't settle anymore, because the way that these action sequences were shot, we want this level or better. This level or better. And I like this new era of villain. It's not mustache twirling. They are using technology to be villainous. And I say this new era because of what Jason Momoa did in Fast X and what Bill Skarsgård did in John Wick 4. And now what Esai Morales does in Mission Impossible 7 Dead Reckoning Part 1. I like that they're using technology because it does have this villainous tone to what technology can be in the future, especially in the wrong hands. The villains are smarter in this era. They're using technology to get the best of the protagonists. The antagonists are smart more than they're using weapons to defeat their adversary. I like this new era because there's so many creative ways you can use it, and it feels realistic when you think about technology and AI and so forth. So I like this new era of villains, but this is a fantastic film. I am so spoiled now. Like, Tom Cruise really leveled up. He really changed the game in a way that we're going to want our action heroes to bring this level or better, especially when the price of a ticket to see it in the theater is like $20, and that's just for the ticket. That's not for the refreshments and so forth and the whole night. This is a good movie. I implore you to see this film the way it was meant to be seen, opening weekend, on the biggest screen you can find. I do not think that a regular screen will do this film justice. You got to see it in Dolby or in IMAX, because in that way I think you will experience it the way it was meant to be experienced, because that is so immersive with the sound that pairs with the action sequence. You really feel like you're in the action, which was... This is a good movie. That train sequence alone is worth the price of admission. Especially this car scene or this car chase is one of the best car chases you've seen. I mean, forget about what you've seen in Fast X. This is up there. Tom Cruise and Haley Atwell were like cuffed together in this vehicle. Was a Fiat. Watch out for that scene. It's a yellow Fiat scene where they're like on cobblestones in, I believe, Venice. And the way this was shot, like you feel like you're in the car. It is so amazing. They did these stunts, and you can tell that they did these stunts. And I mean, it was a nail biter. You're going to be on the edge of your seat with these action sequences. And when I tell you, from the first scene until the end, it's on 100. But anyway, that car scene, that's the one to watch out for. Like that car scene, the way that's shot and how funny it is. This has some really cool comedic beats, like natural humor that's just funny because of the situation, very situationally funny. And I just, listen, this is such a good movie. I cannot oversell this film. This is a good film. If you are selective in what you're going to be seeing this summer, this got to be on the top of your list. Trust me when I tell you, it's going to be worth it. And this is 2.5 hours long. You do not feel it for a second, because that first scene to the very last scene, it's on 100. Yes, this is the one. I cannot wait to see this film again. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 will be wide in theaters this weekend. Treat yourself and see this film in theaters.